I know the friend zone. Everybody hates it. I understand why you hate it. It's a hated place to be in. However, it can be a powerful place to be in. Here's why most relationship coaches will give you good advice and say don't go into the friend zone, because it's really easy to misplay the friend zone. The traditional view of it is still something that you want to avoid. In other words, even though I'm going to tell you some effective techniques that you can use so you don't have to be terrified of the friend zone, the one thing you don't want to do is be that beta male, that simp, that pushover. No woman is going to be attracted to that guy that she can call on a Friday night crying about the date she just had with the douchebag, and then you take over a gallon of Rocky Road ice cream and watch The Notebook while you paint her toenails and then braid her hair. That's the bad version of the friend zone. And that's the one that a lot of relationship coaches are afraid to tell you, to tell you. And that's the reason a lot of relationship coaches are afraid to tell you that you can be effective from the friend zone, because too many guys are going to go into it and apply it the wrong way. You don't want to become a yes man. Yes man, friend zone, bad. In other words, what do you need? Do you want me to talk? Can I change my plans? Do you want me to come over? Tell me everything about it. What did he do to you? Oh, girl, you didn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve. I don't know why you want to go out with him. You know how your hair would look really good? Come here. Let me fix it. You get the idea. You don't want to be a pushover. But then a lot of guys are so afraid of the friend zone that from the very beginning, they misplay even trying to deny that. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say a girl breaks up with you, and at the end of it, she says, well, I still have feelings for you as a friend, and I'd like to stay in touch. Can we just stay in touch, please? Or I don't want to lose everything we've had in our relationship. So is it okay if I reach out to you once in a while? Or they might say, you can reach out to me once in a while if you need to. I know this is hard for you, and I want to be there for you, which is always strange when somebody offers to be there for you over some pain that they're causing you with a breakup. But if they do that, here's the bad way to respond and not taking the friend zone. The bad way is, I appreciate you saying that, but the truth is, I'm still in love with you. And if I can't have a romantic relationship, then the idea of just being around you is too painful to me, so I don't think it's a good idea. Now think about what I just said. If you respond that way, and if you have responded that way, I'm not telling you that you just ruined it, but does it actually sound attractive? Does it sound strong? Does it sound like a man that she just maybe misjudged and has more strength, more charisma, more confidence, more sense of resilience by saying, I can't even be in contact with you? You mean so much to me. I have so many romantic feelings for you that just being around you hurts too much. So no, I can't be your friend. You can't come across that way. So one thing, even if you are going to say, I want no part of the friend zone no matter what, don't say it like that. Just say, I appreciate that, but I think I'm just going to focus on finding somebody else. I think I'm just going to focus on my work. I'm going to focus on school. I'm going to focus on, pick a project, say anything. Don't say you can't be her friend because it's too painful. Don't say you can't be her friend because you just need her in your life romantically. It still sounds needy. You don't want to sound needy. You want to sound capable. It's okay that you feel the hurt. And you don't have to deny the hurt. Just don't put it on display. Don't make it so transparent. It sounds much better if you still want to reject the friend zone. Say something like, I appreciate you saying that, but I think it's best if we're both going to focus on other people. Let's just move on. No hard feelings. Yeah, I wish you the best, but I'm going to be okay. In other words, anytime you have a chance to hand back pity, sympathy, or guilt that they feel over the breakup, you don't want those things. Pity, sympathy, and guilt are actually attraction killers. So what you want to do is hand it back. You can admit that you're hurt. It's not something I wanted. I wish you weren't doing it, but hey, I understand. And the truth is, if you don't want to be with me, I don't want to be with anybody that's not certain they want to be with me. So I'll be fine. But yeah, we'll just move on and find other people and find the person we're supposed to be with. So important. It's good to encourage them to move on with no hard feelings. It's bad to reject friendship because it's just too painful for you. If it's just too painful for you, that means they still have a lot of power in your life. So what can you do? If you say something like, and again, I understand why even Coach Lee and a lot of relationship coaches will tell you not to embrace the friend zone. And I would agree with all of that if you can't do it the right way. But here's the insight that a lot of times they don't have the time to get into it, and they're afraid that if they even hint that the friend zone's okay, They're afraid that some guys are going to embrace it and then apply the wrong strategy from that position. And there is a right way to apply it if you're going to do it. First of all, embrace it, but embrace it calmly. Don't use it as an excuse to reach out to her 17 times in the next 3 days. Well, you said we could be friends, so hey, since we're friends, do you want to go to the movies on Saturday just as friends? Hey, I know you said that we could be friends, and we were scheduled to go to the beach in a couple of weeks. Can we still go to the beach? I mean, don't worry, we'll just go as friends. You don't want to use that friendship position as an excuse to keep spending time with them, because they'll notice. They'll notice you're really just trying to use that as a reason to justify holding on. And then every time you get around them, you don't want to show a hint. This is key. You can't even show a hint. You can't show a little bit of a wound. You can't show a little bit of a hope. You can't do a little bit of flirting. If you're going to actually work from the friend position, which can be lethal if you know what you're doing, then one of the first things you have to do is act warm, relaxed, and outgoing. In other words, a quick mental framing technique. Think of somebody that you have in your life that really wants to go out with you, but maybe somebody that you don't have romantic feelings for, right? I have somebody in my life from years ago. Her name was Annie. She had a crush on me, and I thought she was a wonderful person, but I didn't want to go out with her. I also didn't want to hurt her feelings. So one of the things that I would do every time I saw her, because I didn't want to hurt her feelings and because I knew there was a little bit of a crush there, so one thing I would do is be really warm and engaging, because I didn't want her to feel like I was blowing her off or I was being a jerk. You know, I don't need to act like a douchebag just because somebody has feelings for me and I didn't return those feelings. So when I saw her, I might be like, hey, Annie, how you doing? Good to see you. Give her a hug. So what have you been up to? Oh, you look great. I love your hair. That looks really good. So I'd be very relaxed with her. The key is I just wouldn't be pursuing extended time with her. So after we had that interaction, all right, I'll see you later. I got to run. If she ever texted me, hey, everybody's getting together later at Jonathan's, then I might send something back like, oh, cool, maybe I'll see you there. I'm not going to ignore her. I'm going to respond warmly. I'm going to respond in a relaxed tone, but I'm going to be brief. A lot of times, how we interact with that person that has feelings for us that we don't actually have romantic feelings for, a lot of times that's one of the most attractive versions of us. So now go back to this girl. Let's say she's just broken up with you. And instead of saying, no, I can't be your friend. Well, why can't we be friends? Because you just mean so much to me. I think it would just be too painful if we stayed in each other's lives and every time I saw you, I would miss you and I would hurt about you. See how weak that sounds? Instead, if she says, can we still be friends? Doesn't this sound better? Yeah, of course, we can still be friends. Hey, I wish you nothing but the best. I mean, I only hope good things for you. Like, I didn't want to break up, but honestly, you did me a favor. I don't want to be with somebody who's not sure they want to be with me. So I'm glad you were honest. I mean, does it hurt now? Yeah, but I'll be fine. Already, doesn't that sound stronger than I can't? I'm so wounded and I'm so hurt, I can't be with you. Now, what do you do after that? After that, give them the time, give them the space. Now you have somebody who kind of feels and assumes, logically, that you still want to be with them, that you still have romantic feelings. That feels good to their ego. And you just agreed to be friends. A lot of times it's really natural after that for them to reach out and check on you. Hey, I know a couple of days ago was rough. I just wanted to check on you. Then you have a chance to say, no, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, that was a rough night. Don't try to deny it. Yeah, that was a rough night. But I've been feeling better and better ever since then. I just, it took me a second to realize, but like I said before, I didn't want to try to talk somebody into being with me. So I'm glad you were honest. So you always want to project it like that. Immediately, as soon as you can, project it like that. Then when they're reaching out to you, it'll actually be a little bit of a wound to their ego. Anytime somebody really likes you, even if you don't like them in return, even if it's from a previous relationship, just knowing somebody has a big crush on you feels good. Knowing that they want to be with you feels good, even if you don't want to be with them. Now, when suddenly that person doesn't act like they want to be with you again, especially if you have some kind of ongoing connection, a good friendship, whether they tell you or not, ego has a lot more to do with how people behave than logic and fear. Like, ego is a much better predictor of how they're going to react than your most fearful, logical thoughts. Well, if I tell them that I want to be their friend, then they'll just lock me in that position, and I'll never be romantic again. That's not true. And stop and think about it. Why is everybody so afraid of the friend zone? They're afraid of it because people apply the wrong principles when they're in it. But now stop and think about how many people you know that are together that started off as friends. Everybody knows a couple that ended up together, and maybe one or both of them broke up with somebody they were dating to be with somebody that they previously just considered a friend. A lot of affairs happen when couples are together and they become best buddies. They become, guess what? They become best friends with another couple. And because they're best friends with another couple, they keep spending time with this other couple. And the more time they spend together, being relaxed, having fun, feeling accepted, noticing that the other person is physically good looking, you can develop deep feelings for somebody from the friendship position. Almost everybody knows a couple that broke up because one of them started having an affair with with a friend, somebody that they didn't even think of romantically. That's why it's dangerous, despite what people will tell you. I don't want my wife having really, really good guy friends. If she said, "Hey baby, I love you. I'm gonna go hang out with I don't know, Timmy. I'm gonna go have dinner with Timmy. I'm gonna go to the ball game with Brian." I'm not gonna be the guy going, "All right, well tell Timmy and Brian I said hi." I don't want my wife spending a lot of time with a lot of guy friends. She doesn't want me hanging out with a lot of women that are my girlfriends. It's not going to happen. So you can be lethal from that position. It's just that you don't want to become the yes man. So friend zone, don't be so terrified of it. Yes man, be terrified of it. What women really don't want, and why relationship coaches are afraid of encouraging the friend zone in any way, is they're afraid that guy is going to say, "Yeah, I'll be your friend. Just to have you in my life is all that I need. I just want to have her in my life. I just can't stand the thought of losing her completely." And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make fun of you if you feel that way. That's a normal thing. I've felt that way myself before. The problem is you can't show it. So embrace it with confidence, and then embrace it with some limitation. Let them be the one to initiate the friendship time. And then sometimes say no. Sometimes be busy. When they reach out to check on you just as a friend, respond with warmth. Respond with confidence, and respond by being brief, because you have someone else to talk to, you have somewhere else to go, you have something of meaning to do. And then another little tactic you can use when you're starting to date somebody else, and I'm not saying manipulate somebody else to win back your ex. I'm saying, look, if your ex broke up with you, then it's fair and reasonable if you want to start going out with somebody else. So, and you can be honest with that other person if you want. You can say, "Look, I'm not completely over my ex. We're friends now, but I still have some feelings there." So be transparent with that next person if you're not over your ex. But the key part you can do, a key strategy which can be effective, is use your new friend, your ex, to get dating advice from. Because even though they told you they want to have you as a friend, guess what they're actually not going to really enjoy hearing about? If a girl breaks up with me and a couple of weeks later I'm like, "Hey, I have an awkward question I want to ask you." "Yeah, what is it?" "Yeah, I just got a date with this smoking hot girl. I mean, I've had a crush on her for a while. We're about to go out. What outfit do I look good in? Here, let me send you a couple shots." Now you have a built-in excuse to show her how good you look. All right, so this is where I'm thinking about taking. This is where I'm thinking about taking her on the date. And hey, I really want to nail this date. Well, no pun intended. I really want to get this date right. So where did I take you? Where did I take you that you thought, when we had our best time, what do you think? What was our best date? Now keep in mind, you're safe to now ask this question. What is she going to do? Get mad at you because you're asking for her advice on how to win somebody over? She can't get mad. She broke up with you. She doesn't have those romantic feelings for you anymore. So it's not fair that she gets mad at you because you're asking advice from a friend. And if she does get mad at you, act confused. Like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push anything. I thought we were friends. You were the one that said you didn't want to date me anymore. I thought we were good. Friends do this, right? We ask advice. And yet you know me pretty well. So I'm sorry." Even the apology sounds strong. Asking the question sounds strong. Just stay in that position, and a lot of times they'll come back and say, "Can we talk? I know I said I just wanted us to be friends, but I got to admit it's really bothering me, and I'm starting to have feelings, and I'm starting to get confused." So those are some techniques. There's some principles of how you can pull somebody back from the friend zone, which is actually a pretty lethal position if you know what you're doing. And hey, if you need some advice, then you can always book a call with me at dotheyloveme.com, and I can give you some advice on some details to your situation if you want to know how to win somebody back, yes, from the dreaded friend zone.